Hello everybody, hope you are having another blessed day, and do be forewarned before I get anyone to this video that this is going to be a long rant video about the game of Wizard101. So if you're not in the mood, who don't want to take part in my ranting about things that are definitely wrong with the game of Wizard101 and have to be changed before we all lose our minds, then click off now. And thank you for clicking on the video, but I'm going to ask you to leave now, for this is not for your ears of heart. But if you're staying to listen to me rant for the next probably 10 to 15 minutes, then enjoy. So, start my rant. You saw from probably one of my last videos, I was doing Pet the Mega, and I failed. Well, guess what? That was fail, I believe, fail about 95, something like that. Yeah, 95 fails, something close to that. Well, guess what? This is what I've gotten since then. This is the closest I've gotten. Yeah, another fail, and this one has Maycast Fortify. And to get to that point, after that last pet hatching video, I've had 32 fails. Yeah. 32 straight fails. I've actually only gotten 4 corgis after 32 hatches. Yeah. So I talked about how it's usually like a 1 in 5 chance, and that actually proves it's even worse than that. 4 out of 32, that is 1 in 8. Yeah, something has to change. Because right now, I cannot get my pet, and I'm wasting so many gold, and so many snacks, and so many crowns. Hatching again and again during double pet XP, and guess what? I'm actually out of gold again. I don't feel like changing my snacks. I've gone through 7,000 crowns in the last 3 hours since I made that video of the corgi failing at Mega. And I just quit. Okay, I quit messing with double XP. I don't want to waste any more crowns in this messed up part of the game right now. Okay, so I'm just going to go back and take this long time to train my pets. At least then I'm not wasting crowns, just wasting snacks. And also valuable time. Because all this told me from this time, with all of these fails, these last 32 fails in 3 hours, is that I was going to have probably the next, let's just say month, maybe 2 months of training, of failing. So I just encumbered all of that together into 3 hours. So 32 probably fails in the course of 2 months. So 2 months of failing into 3 hours. I just squeezed that all together. So you can tell from my voice right now, I'm not that happy. Yeah, I am not a happy camper right now. And I feel like this is something that has to change. Because pet hatching and pet training, that is one of the end products of the game Wizard101. And it is incredibly bugged right now. Okay, it is not working the way it has to work. Okay, right now, all it's doing is making the people mad. You can tell me wrong. You're always getting mad most of the time when you're trying to train pets. Because you're going to fail multiple times, wasting your time and effort. Have to take forever. It's annoying. It's frustrating. And when you do get a pet, sure you're relieved, but think of how much frustration you've gone through over any of your times training a pet. And this whole system needs to be revamped or changed completely. Because everything they've done recently with the game with training like your pets, except for the whole you can skip the game, that's the only good thing that's come recently, okay? You could say also the kiosk, but they made the kiosk worse. And there's different parts of why the kiosk is worse. The main part is, you cannot even hatch with crown pets. Crown pets need to be in this pet. Just taking a corgi, for example. Like, your corgis you can only get when hatching by yourself. So if you don't have that crown pet, you can't get it. So people out there who do not have a dapper corgi, who don't have the chance to get a dapper corgi, you're going to have to spend 8,000 crowns in the kiosk, if I'm not mistaken, just to buy one. Or find a friend that has one to hatch with it, like I had to. This thing first came out. That's just not fair, okay? And I can't even let me type dapper. That's cool. That is awesome. Let's see if I can type in corgi and it pops up. Corgi. Hello. Corgi. Yeah, it's 8,000 for this thing. Okay, and this is not an 8,000 crown worth pet. Okay, so I don't know. They're just trying to make it more money for themselves, saying only crown shop pets can be bought in crown shop or hatch in the regular hatching system. But they need to put them in here. Kids, is a waste of money for us as players. All right. Now I'm just gonna take a pause on that. I can keep ranting on that thing probably for the next 9 minutes. That is not cool. Okay, I'm gonna be ranting about the rest of the game because this is gonna be a rant video. So I just ranted a bunch about pet hatching. Let's talk about something else to rant about. And something's probably about to be changed. But I've ranted about it is right now. Let's just talk about PvP. Okay. God, I haven't started PvP yet, but I've watched tons and tons of videos of PvP. Because somebody enjoy watching this as a viewer, not even as a content creator. I just love watching different people PvP, seeing their strategy and see what's going on. But there's one same complaint. Different schools need to be nerfed. And I hate that complaint. It really just annoys me, because I hate the hard of any kind of game that things have to be nerfed. Because this is not the problem of the school themselves, it is the problem of the developers. Developers should never create a game or create a system that has to constantly be nerfed. Take, for example, balance. Balance has to get nerfed. Life had to get nerfed. Now they're talking about fire and ice also have to get nerfed. Guess what? Once these schools get nerfed and the other schools get better, they'll be calling out for death get nerfed and myth get nerfed. And all these other schools eventually going to ask get nerfed. It's inevitable, okay? It's inevitable how the system they have set up. They always try to make it more even some schools, and guess what? They just end up breaking other schools once you nerf them. Like for big example is balance. Balance and ice used to be the big one-board combo. Fire maybe was a free or fourth tier, but now since balance got nerfed, guess what? Fire took their place, and it's kind of almost level with ice. So ice has gotten a big buff to the whole health and defense. But besides that, even if they get the nerf and how to try and change PvP 5th age, if they still keep the same system they have in PvP or anything like that, the same complaints are going to come up, and that's just not healthy for the game. It's never going to be healthy when people constantly complaining about something's being way too broken. It just needs to be taken out. I don't know. I just don't know. Because I don't play PvP. I don't know how they can change it. But this whole system, everything needs to be revamped, needs to be looked through, needs to be changed. Because it's not healthy for the community. Because all they're getting, no matter what season it is, no matter what kind of game mode they're doing, it's just getting constant complaint from the players. Be it broken, be it it's not working correctly. I even saw someone's live stream talking about how like Maycasts are even bugged right now. Like Maycast Infallible, Maycast Shatter, or actually casting at a higher rate than it's supposed to, like almost like 3 times as often as it was supposed to. And that's just something that's all the developers' problem, okay? It's all developers' problems because they're not thinking before they put stuff in. They're waiting for player feedback. And they're just waiting for negative feedback. They're not waiting for positive, waiting for negatives. Okay, and you shouldn't make a game with the expectation to accept your negatives and kind of change it from there. Okay, this is why we had test realms for all this stuff. This needs to be maybe even say a longer test realm. Maybe have beta players actually go to the KI studios and actually work for months on this stuff. To practice for this stuff, to see what is going on and how it works, and give them direct feedback over the course of months, not the couple of weeks we get from test realm. Again, I'm asking for a lot, but for a game that I say is dying, if they're going to try to save it, they have to have this one-on-one and direct interaction with active players. Okay? So yeah, I'm just going to stop there with that rant. I'm just going off the mind right now and just complaining about everything. So that was the whole thing with PvP rant. I've done my pet rant. We'll see what I'm missing. Okay, let's talk something else in-game. I'm at level 130 max. Well, mainly player, at least I'm on fire. Let's just talk about in-games in all the worlds. Okay, one of the main end games right now is just gaining your reagents, whole quest and all that stuff. Let's just look at I just lost all the energy because I completely failed at life. But you know what? That's fine. This is a rant video. We can rant about that too eventually. So what? Well, okay, make it fails. But basically, how the game's working right now, you basically have to farm for your max level stuff. And right now, it's dragoons. Well, and here's the problem with that. They basically punish. Well, you could say punish people who farm the most. And it's just really feel like a slap in the face. You could say one, you could farm a ton and get it before everybody else, before it comes easier. But I hate that mentality. Okay? I hate it. Especially the last one. They made this stuff really easy to get. Mainly after like 2-3 days after this whole the dungeon came out of Catacombs. And that was made possible because they activated double reagents about 3 to 5 days after it came out. So all these players, such as myself, who was farming things probably 10 to 14 hours a day over the course of like the first day or two, after basically the first day you did all the quests and they finished up the whole dungeons, and you spent those next 2-3 days before that whole double reagent dropped to basically the farm. But then I feel like this is a slap in the face because basically everyone will be able to catch up. I finished all my stuff really quick, but I feel like if you're just gonna activate double reagents, why wait 3 to 5 days after? There's no reason to do that except to troll people. Okay? And all we found from it, the drop rates are terrible. That's why even now they increased the drop rates recently. And I hate that also. Okay? Because why do they have to constantly keep fixing problems they have in their game instead of addressing them before they even come out? This is why I talked about the PvP. Why they only expect us and test them over the course of maybe 2 to 3 weeks to solve the problems for them. We can't. These problems are ones that can only be addressed after months of playing. After the test run, after it went live, it didn't come a whole problem that the drop rates is one they can't change to part of the next test run, where it's about a month or 2 later, and I hate that. So something I'm just going to say that has to happen if KL wants to keep updating the games correctly, in my opinion. They have to have active players being directly involved for every updating stage they have, okay? There cannot be any of this stuff of talking about Well, this test run's only for updates. Take like Blaze Lifehammer, for example. Blake PvP. Great example of people who are directly involved with the game right now. At least I know Blake PvP, he's constantly doing PvP videos. Take people like him. Have him be directly involved over the months of the working for, like, I don't know, the PvP updates. How to be changing that. They can work hand in hand on how the game can be updated and what to give their own direct thoughts as veteran PvP players on how they think their changes all want to work. And that can change over the course of the months of developing. Okay, that's just a thought on that. Take people, let's see, Blake PvP, well, not Blake PvP, but let's say like Blaze Lifehammer. He's one always doing the host question videos, going through all the worlds and the updates. He could be a great one to talk about with farming. Or, say, for example, like I'll say Alex Lionheart. I believe he's an old veteran one that's been playing like on the Ice Wizards. And he always gives those old updates about how to solo all these bosses. He would be a great one to talk about these new final dungeons and how he thinks about them. He would be someone they could easily get a hold of. And have him work from one-on-one on how he thinks the game should, like, the updates should work. Such as how, like, drop rates should be. Or just, like, the crafting stuff. And then he can work for over the months to improve the quality. So we don't have to constantly complain about stuff being too hard. Stuff not dropping. All this stuff. It's just something they're just not doing. I don't understand why. Alright. So, yeah. So that was my rant. Late at night right now. It's actually about almost 1 in the morning for me. So yeah. That was my little rant. I hope you enjoyed. If not, that's perfectly fine. Again, that's just me ranting. I'm just glad you took the time to listen. So with that, I'm not going to say if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. I'm just asking you to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Got this helps support me, and maybe eventually we can get the word out to King's Isle, and maybe they can make some positive changes for once in this game and stop expecting us to make and ask for the changes for them. They need to be progressive, okay? They need to be active in their game making, not just sitting back and waiting for us to tell them what to do, okay? They should be able to make decisions for themselves. Get us involved. Alright, now with that, again, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you can somehow help us get a word out to King's Isle. And with that, I hope the rest of the week is blessed. And I hope we see you all in another crazy and messed up day in Wizard101. And I'm out.